World Cup edition of the Rob Dibble Show.
Thought we were talking Cure Bowl.
Cure Bowl? Talking USA cured something ill.
All right, just to fill the listeners, and Gallo, Jon Gallo.
Jon Gallo is our soccer expert. Now he's an executive over on the management side, so he really doesn't associate with us anymore.
We were talking Cure Bowl, and we were just thinking, man, it's like this is all about the Cure. Like Cure's going to come in, Cure's going to play halftime.
Robert Smith's going to come in and play.
And we started naming off all the Cure songs we know, and all we got is Friday I'm in Love.
Yep.
But then we got on the
Fascination
YouTube.
Street.
Fascination Street.
That's my favorite song.
There you go.
There you go.
Is this Fascination Street?
Just like heaven.
Just like heaven.
Just like this is another good one too. The more synthesizers you can put in a song, I'm gonna listen to it. Do you think there's any actual instruments being played on these songs?
Yeah, they synth up, but still activated by a guitar in a lot of them.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay.
I can't wait to see him at that football game. It's going to be great. So USA all the way today, John.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was rooting for the 0-0 draw, threw a bunch of money on that at the beginning of the day, but we did score. We weren't offsides? How are we not offsides? I thought we were offsides.
No, that was clean. Offsides ends when the ball gets kicked. So if he runs offsides after the ball's in the air, you're onside.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
That's good to know.
Excellent. Now, what did you think about the cross and the goal?
I thought it was great. I mean, a lot of players will not make that header a pass. They'll
Was a
just
great
try
pass.
to score on that. But, I mean, you saw Serginho Dest. He just turned, saw Pulisic and just right to the middle, right to him. That's a great pass, great goal.
And any soccer player, myself included, would take a kick to the groin to get a goal.
Oh, yeah.
In the World
Especially in
Cup.
the World Cup.
Yeah.
In the World Cup. So.
Yeah, especially when, you're supposed to be America's best player and you're on the team that doesn't qualify 4 years ago as their best player. Finally make your presence known.
Are you disappointed, though, that every year we're just hoping to get to the knockout round? We're not talking about we need to win the World Cup again or we need to dominate the world.
In years past, yes, that usually frustrated me when Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey, those guys were on the team. But we're coming off of 4 years ago not qualifying at all for the tournament. So I think getting out of the group stage is, that's a good step forward for this team of young guys. We're one of the youngest teams in the tournament.
4 years is
So
a
we're
long
on another
time.
5-year plan.
We're always on the 5-year plan. We're like
the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah.
We're the Baltimore Orioles of World Cup soccer.
Now, there's more controversy in this match as it went along. 1-0 your final, boys and girls. If you're just joining us, USA beats Iran. They will move on to the round of 16. At the 98th minute, they added 9 extra stoppage minutes to this game. 98th minute, there's a ball in play right in front of America's goal. Iran has a beat on his defender. The defender puts his hands on the shoulders of the Iranian striker that brought him right to the ground. No foul was called, and then a bunch of arguing from there. Iran is very upset that they did not get a penalty kick with that situation that happened right in front of the goal. What do you think?
Yeah, it wasn't a penalty. I mean, you can put your hand on somebody's shoulder. You can't force them to the ground. He literally placed his hand on his shoulder, and then the guy just dropped on his own. Also, too, the ref that was the center ref for this game was doing a Qatar cutter, whatever you want to pronounce it.
Tomato.
One of their games earlier in the tournament where it was a really bad tackle in the box, went to VAR, and he is the one that ruled it no penalty. So, just taking the precedence of what he's called in the past in this tournament, I never thought they were going to get a penalty.
So now we play the Netherlands. It's already been settled. Saturday, 10 a.m. You're doing it to me, man. They're doing it to me. 10
a.m.?
You know,
I'm at Bobby V's?
Yeah, I'll be somewhere. I'll be somewhere. If they were to draw 0-0 here, obviously they'd have to win to move on today. But just the English Friday match just turned me off, man. Not of soccer. You know me. I'll go with my club friends over at the Hartford Athletic and bang on the drum all night for my Hartford Athletic. I love college soccer. Listen, I love women's soccer. I love World Cup. I'm a Portugal fan. I'm a huge Cristiano Ronaldo fan. But this U.S. men's national team to me is just a downer. Just such a un-American team to me. Un-American.
What do you mean?
Play to win. Have expectations higher than beating Iran.
They were playing to win. It's just soccer's a hard game. And, I mean, watching the game on TV is a lot different than being in the stands at a game. As you would know, going to Hartford Athletic games,
true.
it's way more juiced up.
That's true.
But England's the big brother of America for soccer.
I say boo.
We just needed to draw with them, and if we won that game, we would have gone in. Today's game wouldn't have meant so much, but it just wasn't going to happen. As soccer, sometimes it's a 0-0 tie, and from a lot of soccer fans I know, that was one of the best soccer games they've seen, even though it was a 0-0 tie.
Oh my God, I hate that.
Why? Because we didn't lose to England?
No, just the excitement of the game, just all the lead up to it.
Back-to-back draws, begging to get by Iran.
Sorry,
Come on.
We're sorry.
You sound like a Red Sox fan. Oh, wait a second. You are.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Netherlands. Now,
We better beat Netherlands.
James was like, we will either play Senegal or Netherlands. I was like, oh, please give me Senegal. Then you come in here and say Netherlands.
Senegal's pretty good.
They're not the same team that in the past of the Netherlands. So what do you know about this bunch?
I don't know too much about them, but it's not the same players that we're used to seeing. It's not the same level of soccer we're used to seeing. It's a very winnable game. There's not going to be a tie. It's win and move on. Lose and you're out. I think this could be another 1-0 game. It's going to be close. I do think USA can pull it out. Just all the legends that you remember from Netherlands, Arjen Robben, Wesley Sneijder, they're all gone. They're all gone. There's no big superstars on Netherlands that we should be fearing right now. They're still one of the top countries in the world, but they're one of the vulnerable ones.
Who do you like? Who's the team that you like that you would throw down on a futures today to win the World Cup?
Just watching Spain play, the way they pass, they just control the ball the entire game and just break you down, and they're very patient about it. When they played, I think it was Costa Rica, and they won like 6-0. Yeah, they scored a lot of goals really fast, but they were just patient on every attack, playing it all the way back to their goalie and letting the play build up until they had an opening to score. They just look so strong. Even they tied Germany, but Germany had that tough loss to Japan, so I don't know if they're going to get out of the group. But going into the tournament, they were one of the teams I was watching. And then you always have to fear Brazil, the number one team in the world. But no Neymar until maybe this round of 16, maybe not, maybe quarterfinals. But they always have some of the best players in the world, and they're a team to watch out for.
I love my Portugal team. They beat Uruguay yesterday. We were watching that game. It was a 2-0 result. Now, they gave Cristiano Ronaldo a goal that made him one of the leading scorers of all time in World Cup. And then FIFA came out this morning and said, oh, actually, Dibs, we looked at the video, and it may have touched a blade of hair, but actually he did not get a piece of the ball.
Wow.
Therefore, we're taking the goal away. Cheeky move.
FIFA's so corrupt.
Cheeky move. What do you think? It wasn't no touch and goal should not be Ronaldo's?
No, it shouldn't be. If he didn't touch it, it's not his goal.
He sounds like a Ronaldo hater. You must love Ronaldo at all times. So Portugal, Ghana, South Korea, Uruguay, from my novice view of things, that's not the toughest of group for them to get out. Ghana's decent.
In the past, they have been. I'm not too familiar with their team now, but in my eyes,
right now they're 1-0 in the two games. South Korea and Uruguay are not good.
Yeah, that was probably the easiest group in the tournament.
Right. But, I just say look out for Portugal, man. I think Cristiano Ronaldo probably playing his last World Cup. That means a lot for these guys.
It's more than just Ronaldo. I mean, they got 39-year-old Pepe still playing defense, anchoring down that defense, and still one of the best defenders in the world. And even though in his advanced age, we'll say, for soccer.
What about France? We haven't brought up France yet. They're undefeated so far.
Defending World Cup champions. I actually kind of overlooked them when I was saying what team I thought would win. They can be vulnerable at times, but they have one of the best attacks in the world, and they're going to light it up.
So have you done any game watching? Like, have you had viewing part? Did you do Friday? Did you do any USA versus English Friday?
I actually listened to the game on the radio.
Wow.
Found a stream and
excellent. Any plans for Saturday now that you know this 10 a.m. Netherlands match?
be waking up and watching.
Vaughn's was packed downtown. Parkville Market's always packed. That place just has a host of countries it represents, so that place is bonkers. But everywhere, not just Hartford, there's places in the world that people will be waking up at 7 a.m. so they get their spot at the bar.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. This is going to be a huge game.
All right, I'm in. USA. I'll have to get my USA scarf out. I'll probably get those glasses with American flags on them.
Be rocking my USA bandana. Got to break out the old
I think
jersey.
you should
Hope it
paint
still fits.
half your face blue, half
face
white,
red.
since you're
Right.
already a ginger.
Oh,
So
I
you
like
got
it,
the
though. I
red.
think that's a great idea. It is a great
There
idea.
you go. You don't have to do the red.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, but it's like This tournament, I love this tournament because it's once every 4 years. It's one sport. It's not like the Olympics. And it doesn't matter if I know zero about the team. I know that that's my country, and that's who I'll be rooting for. And I'll be getting up at 10 a.m., and I will be somewhere at a bar near you being stupid for 2 hours. And we better win. We better win, because this is my thing. For me, this is not like it's a win. It's not a win. To get into the round of 16, I'm with Dibs. Not a win. Yeah. It's like an extra point being made. The kicker's supposed to do that, man. Don't be interviewing the kicker after this. Don't be interviewing this team if they go and play the Netherlands and they get beat 1-0.
Don't make it seem like it's heroic.
Or
the guy talking today about the goal, making it seem like, like it was heroic.
Yeah.
Like, he took Iwo Jima or something.
He got hit in the nuts,
break. Exactly. You got a goal, he got kicked in the groin. All right, let's talk about your Jets.
Oh, yeah.
Mike White, is he your quarterback the rest of the season?
I do not want to see Zach Wilson take the field in New York again.
Whoa! Wow. Now, you were at this game, weren't you? What did you think just watching that guy, Mike White, spin it up close and personal?
I knew it was going to be a big day when I pulled into the parking lot at 8:45 in the morning and saw a lot of Mike White fans walk. No, just people yelling. Walking into the stadium at 12:30 and Mike White chants breaking up the escalators.
Wow.
Get into the seats and just Mike White chants all day. Every time the Jets took the field on offense, it was Mike White, Mike White, Mike White.
Wow.
And I was hoping Zach Wilson was going to be on the sideline hearing that.
Did Garrett Wilson start that chant? Or Elijah Moore?
Might have been Elijah Moore. He came alive. That's probably his best game as a Jet.
Probably his best game as an NFL player.
Yeah.
Probably his best game as an NFL player. Now, Dibs brought this up yesterday. I was singing the Mike White praises as well, and Dibs goes, at Minnesota, at Buffalo, next 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I mean, Minnesota's a team.
We'll learn a lot.
Well, yeah, but Minnesota's a team that gives up a lot of points, and Mike White is a guy that doesn't try to force things. He just goes for the easy pass and, racks up 315 yards with, 8 incompletions on the day? The last time Zach Wilson played, he had more incompletions than he did completions.
But it was the Bears.
Correct.
The Bears are not one of the best teams. Minnesota's a good team. Buffalo's a better team.
The Bears' defense is still pretty decent. They don't really give up a lot of points.
Yeah, that's true. I'm looking forward to when Minnesota has the ball, though. I want to see Sauce Gardner versus Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup.
That's a great matchup.
The only thing I'm worried about is, Sauce is maybe 5'11".
Advantage Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Veteran. He's got more games under his belt. He is such more of a crafty player than Sauce is yet. Sauce has got a long way to go and a lot to learn. But skill set, man, if you want to be known as the best, you got to lock down some of the best. And this guy would be a huge notch in your cap if you can get it.
I don't know if he's going to shut him down entirely, but I think he's going to contain him quite a bit because you just watch the way Sauce plays, and he's not overly aggressive like some Jets cornerbacks in the past where they draw a lot of pass interference calls. He likes to sit back and wait and time his lunges at trying to block the ball and just, he's in there when you're trying to catch it. He's in there punching it out while he's tackling you.
Yeah.
He's just an all-around great corner. Reminds me a lot of Trayvon Diggs, and his numbers back that up too.
I hope not. Trayvon Diggs gives up a lot of big plays. Not a
Maybe
big
he's
fan.
a little better.
He's gotten better this year. He's not letting a lot of guys getting behind him. He does get a lot of picks because he's jumping routes a lot, but. Yeah, and last year he was awful. He was actually the worst. He gave up the most yards past him of any cornerback in the league.
He was just so aggressive last year. He had 11 interceptions last year or something like that?
Probably gave up 17 touchdowns to get him.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say about the Buffalo Bills the next following week for the Jets. I don't know how great Josh Allen's elbow is going to last, or how long he's going to be able to nurse that injury all the way through the rest of the regular season.
Just saw the Bryce Harper stuff.
Yeah, but I always think of Tanaka when I watch.
Tanaka was a different breed. I think that he protected his elbow with his mechanics. Plus,
I'm so glad you said that.
He had 4 days to prepare to throw his 120 pitches. Japanese-born pitchers and players are just their dedication, sacrifice, and attention to detail is second to none.
So my Bills family's part of the Bills Mafia asks, how does a football player get Tommy Johns? And I was like, well,
All the time.
if you watch Josh Allen's throwing mechanics, yes, if he's sitting there in the pocket, he's got great throwing mechanics. If he's running out of the pocket, he does any means necessary to get the ball out.
When you lead with your elbow, you can hurt your elbow.
I worry about Patrick Mahomes and all the sidearm that he throws out there. Like, that torque is not good.
Listen, when I got my first shoulder surgery, I was in there. There were a lot of quarterbacks, college, pro, that were getting not just Tommy John, but torn rotator cuff stuff. I always, even when I was younger, thought, man, it was hard to throw with shoulder pads on. Also, tennis players, they get a lot of elbow problems and a lot of shoulder problems. So I think it's fairly common. You just don't hear about it. I think a lot of these guys, they don't want to tell you that they had an elbow or shoulder surgery, so they kind of keep it on the down low. But since he's such a high profile guy, you can't hide that.
It's not getting any better. Every week I see him throw, he's wincing, and he saves the fastball until the fourth quarter.
You can't heal a tendon or a ligament. Once it tears until it goes the whole way. But like I said, and I used to marvel at Tanaka. The fact that it was partially torn for almost his entire Yankee career is phenomenal. That dude never came apart.
So Von Miller also gone. He won't be back by the time the Jets play them. I'm not saying the Bills are not their main competition, but I think when they play Miami at the end of the season, that's going to be a huge game for both of those teams to finish out the year.
Yeah, I mean, just starting with that Bills game, I'm not saying that the Jets could win this game. I think they match up with Buffalo well.
Jets could win.
In the fact that Buffalo is an 80% throwing offense. They run the ball very little. The Jets' run defense is the worst part of their defense. Their pass defense is awesome, and that's the reason they beat Buffalo the first time around.
And they should win the next 3 games after the Bills. Lions.
I know. I'm nervous about the Lions.
Lions, Jaguars, and Seattle.
Should.
I'm actually nervous about all 3 because all 3 teams have kind of played better than
the
you'd
NFL,
expect.
man.
What a roller coaster!
The
this year.
NFL.
By the way, Justin Jefferson, great grill. Have you seen his grill? And so Kirk Cousins. This is why I love this. This guy is so cool. So they're singing his praises after the game, stuff like that, and he's like, he's talking about the whole chain game and all that kind of stuff. He's like, forget that, man. I got to get a grill like his. I got to call my dentist. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that endears you to your teammates and stuff.
Yeah.
And Jefferson just like smiles, and it's all diamonds in his mouth.
Justin Jefferson has done something not a lot of people have been able to do: make Kirk Cousins cool.
Absolutely, his whole team. Yeah, his whole team. I'm thinking, man, you know what? Our chain game was nothing 30 years ago compared to what they got going on today. These guys got millions of dollars in diamonds and gold around their neck.
Not at all. You've been keeping up with the Red Sox hot stove?
A little bit. I'm kind of trying to stay away a little bit. I don't want to get too angry.
Evaldi,
he's free agent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a lot of people signed the qualifying offers around the league. Never thought Evaldi. I kind of thought he actually would because, I mean, it was at $25 million. Are you really gonna get more than that per year?
You might. I mean, just looking.
I think he'll get a 3 or 4 year deal.
Yeah,
he's a solid dude. He's a good 3 or 4, even a 2.
Even a 2.
And man, I'm telling you what, he when he's healthy, he's gonna go out there for 6 or 7.
I mean, I hope they do re-sign him, but I depending on the price,
you guys
we
will
got some money to spend.
You know what'll not shock me is if you guys sign Verlander for 2 or 3 years.
Not shocked.
Overpay.
Not
I will
shocked.
not be shocked. Because, again, teams are going to go after some of these guys thinking, Verlander's going to do for us what he did for the Astros. Listen, pitching at Fenway, not easy.
Yeah.
So
and he's never been good at Fenway.
No. So it's, just because you give a guy a bunch of money doesn't make, especially 39 years old, who knows what Verlander's got left in the tank? Only he knows.
Yeah.
They got to beef up the pitching staff. And I
go
young in the lineup.
I go young.
They're so young in the lineup. They're
Jamison
a bunch of youngsters.
Tyon is a guy that I like. He had Tommy John. He was out for a few years with Pittsburgh. Comes to the Yankees. He knows how to pitch in the AL East. He would be the kind of guy you could build off of in that rotation.
Yeah, I'm not a huge.
And he's not going to get $35 million a year like Cole.
True. I'm not a huge fan, but if it's going to be a bargain, might as well do it because he needs something.
And they're all about the bargain. They are. They're all about the bargain.
And they better be if they're going to sign Bogarts or Devers. And I notice I say or because I don't think it's and.
No. All right. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Tim Brando joined us earlier. We'll replay Tim Brando of Fox Sports. Let's talk some college football. The rankings come out tonight. We'll have him next.